All right, hi everyone. My project for the semester was on crowdsourcing, and to make this webpage, I used Google Sites. Google Sites made it really easy because if I were to use HTML or CSS, I would need to um, code mostly what I have here, but Google Sites did make it easy, and I did not have to code much except for videos that I needed to embed or any graphics that I needed to embed. Um, but yeah, this is my homepage right here. I have just a little view of crowdsourcing, just a little splurt. And then this is my GIF right here that I made through an app. I can't remember the exact website, but I did have to use a website to create this GIF, which was really cool. This is my first response right here, my A response. And for this one, I kind of just summed up what crowdsourcing is and how it can be a good opportunity for people to make things from or just learn from each other. Crowdsourcing is used to um, create ideas, projects, complete tasks, stuff like that. So I kind of just summed it up right there. And then impact. But yeah, to edit everything, it was all done on Google. If I needed to insert something, I would just embed the link right in into the Google site, and obviously right here, as you can see, the video, it popped up in my site for me. I picked this video right here because it kind of went over everything. The good that can come from crowdsourcing and how it can be used incorrectly. That's kind of what this question right here was about, how it can be beneficial and harmful. And for example, it can be beneficial if projects and tasks are completed and created from it, and if people are bouncing ideas off of each other. And it can be harmful if you're looking at a web page, for instance, and the information is misleading or it's not really credible and it's just coming from someone's opinion and not from a source. So that's how it could be used in an incorrect way. Down here's my next response and how it has impacted our society or economy. And I kind of just used the Freestyle Machine by Coca-Cola as an example. Um, Without crowdsourcing, we necessarily wouldn't have a lot of what we have today. Um, a lot of apps, soda machines, a lot of what we have today is made from crowdsourcing. Um, but yeah, crowdsourcing did aid in creating this invention, and it's aided in many other things that we use today. So here is a graph that I found online, and essentially this graph right here kind of goes over the different sites that, or one of the bigger named sites that are used today for crowdsourcing. But all these sites are used for freelance workers and different companies to bounce ideas off of each other and to create new inventions. This bar graph right here, this is a graph that I made, and it was based off of people who did take my crowdsourcing survey. And these were just the results from it based off of what their impact um, was with it. And by the looks of it, the people who did take it, it was mostly positive, which is good. And then this was my little summary of what these two graphs were. Right here, I did embed my survey in here. So if anyone wants to take that. And then this is my infographic that I made in one of the assignments. I again summed up what crowdsourcing was in this one right here. I gave some examples of how it can be used in everyday life. And then I did explain like the impact and what we have because of crowdsourcing. Right here, that's the graph that I had up above, but I did the math. 47.5% of the votes were mostly positive. So the majority of the votes, everyone seemed to have a good experience with crowdsourcing. Down here is my other response, letter D. I kind of gave some more examples of what crowdsourcing was. I gave polls and voting as an example. Polls are used through everyday life, whether you don't know what to eat, what to wear, where to go. Polls help us with decision making. And obviously, we use decision making every single day to help us decide what next step to take. So, without crowdsourcing, I mean, I don't know what we would really truly do. But yeah, that's kind of what I put down here. Let's scroll up. All right, technical aspects. So I have my last two responses right here. But essentially, I put how this one, letter E, it was talking about how a user can interact with the innovation. And obviously, I gave polls as an example again, because that's mostly what I feel like our society uses a lot to help through everyday life with decision making. And here's a little example of that. Someone posted a picture of their outfit, and someone was answering the poll on whether they thought it was good or not. This is the last response that I had. And this question, it kind of asked, like what crowdsourcing, what its purpose was, and what were one of the big ideas of it. But I kind of just summed up, like without crowdsourcing, we wouldn't have a lot of what we have today. People bounce ideas off of each other. There's services that people put up. There's creations that are made. But yeah, without crowdsourcing, we wouldn't have any of those. And people really wouldn't be able to communicate with each other from that. So I have that right here. And then here is my references page. I had more sites, but these are the four that I did think that were the ones I did use the most. I'm just going to click the Wikipedia one. So Wikipedia, while this is a good example of crowdsourcing, many people can add to this if they like. People still need to be careful on if the information is credible or not, since anyone can just really add to it without having any credible information. But essentially, this page right here, it kind of sums up what crowdsourcing is. It gives you some definitions right here, and then if we scroll down, that's just a timeline of crowdsourcing. But this is what I also used a lot, was the applications. It gives you examples of what companies and what areas may have applied crowdsourcing to. And I think that's really important because a lot of us don't truly know like what crowdsourcing is and how it can be used. So I thought this was really beneficial. But yeah, that is my project. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.